Hi, it's Exploring John. Today we're going to make Concord Grape wine. Now we're not going to plant grapevines, pick them, and do all that. We're going to use Welch's Concord Grape. No preservatives, so it'll work for us. So we're going to use 10 bottles of it to give us 5 gallons. We'll add our sugar and go from there.
Don't film that. Oops.
Look this way. I have a helper today. Erin's making her wedding wine, so at this point we're sterilizing. We're using a one-step sterilizer that doesn't need rinsed, but it needs a 2-minute contact. So she's running a cloth with it soaked in there with a pile of sterilizer, or should I say liquid, and rubbing it all over the inside of the fermenter. You hear me talk about sterilization. We don't want it to turn into vinegar. Okay, we're even sterilizing the lid. Anything that touches your wine you want sterilized to kill the vinegar bacteria. We're starting to add our Concord grape juice in.
Sorry.
There's the first one. We've got 10 to pour in. Yes, it works better to hold it on the outside and pour. When we're done here, we should have 5 gallons. At this point, we're making must. Alright, here's number 10, the last one. At least for this fermenter. We're planning on doing a double batch. One of the important things here is temperature. We're making it in a place where we can get the temperature between 70 and 75. That's the temperature the yeast likes. Now we're starting on our second fermenter. Pouring in 10 containers of Welch's grape juice. That's our Concord Grape. Looks good. Nice purple color.
Smells good too.
Yes, it does. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pour these 10 in. Alright, now we're going to add some sugar. Right now we're at 10% on the hydrometer. So we're going to see what a pound of sugar does for us. We want to get up to about 12. Now we're going to stir that in and then we'll take our reading. This is like putting sugar in iced tea. Just stir it up. After we're done dissolving that, we'll take another reading. Well, the first pound of sugar didn't bring us up to where we wanted on our hydrometer, so we're going to add another 1.5 pounds for a total of 2.5 pounds of sugar. And now we'll stir that in. We're still not happy with the sugar level here, so we're going to add another 1.5 pounds of sugar. So this should take us to 4 pounds. Then we'll stir it in. Alright, in the first fermenter, we figured out we needed 4 pounds of sugar. So now we don't have to go a little bit at a time with this batch. We're just going to dump in 4 pounds of sugar. And now we'll stir it up. We'll keep stirring until it doesn't feel gritty on the bottom anymore. After stirring this, we checked our hydrometer again, and it's at 12. That's where we want it. So now we'll move on to the next step. Now we're going to put in our chemicals. With the 4 pounds of sugar we put in, we're going to add 3 teaspoons of pectic enzyme, 5 of acid blend, 1 2/3 of tannin, and that should do us. We've added no water to this. Then we'll stir that in. Now we're going to dump the chemicals in the second batch. Same stuff. Now we'll stir it all up. Getting it all stirred in. Now we'll stir the other batch. We're down to where we're adding the yeast. So we're going to go ahead and pitch the yeast. Today we're just going to sprinkle it on top.
Hopefully.
In the middle. Stay away from the edges. Now the next one. Sprinkling that in. I'm not going to stir it in now, we're just sprinkling it on top. Now we'll just let it set. We'll come back tomorrow and hopefully it'll be boiling away. So the whole process today has taken us less than 2 hours. We're going to take a look at our fermenters and see how they're doing. Ah, nice yeast in that one. Take a look at the other one. Well, that looks good too. Let's see if we can get a reading here. That one there. Get the right scale. Okay, done. Yeah, it's gone down some. It's down to 10. And it started at 12, so it's dropped 2. So now we're going to punch down the cap. That's all this foam on top. That's where some nasties can live. By stirring down the cap, it gives the yeast air and it gets rid of any potential problems. Okay, let's see here on the other one. Looked about the same reading. We'll go ahead and punch down this cap. Alright, we'll come back tomorrow and see how it's doing. Alright, our PA reading, the potential alcohol, is 10. We started out at 12, so we're down 2%. We took the lids off, and there's foam in there. Now we're going to punch the cap and stir it up. When we first took the lid off, there were more bubbles than that. And I guess when the air hit them, they popped. So our PA's down to like 6-7%. So it's dropping fast. Yesterday it was 10. Alright, now we're going to stir the other one. Okay, that'll give it some air for today. Yeah, both of them have rose up there. Guess the liquid's kind of thick, it was holding the bubbles in.
And now that we've broken that seal, they've come up. Luckily, they didn't overflow. We're here on the third day. We started this Saturday and it's Tuesday. I'm going to take off the lid and see what the bubbles look like. Those some nice bubbles. Nice color too. Now we'll look at the hydrometer and see what that reads. So we look at our hydrometer and it's way down. It's like a 2 or a 3. So we're going to go ahead and rack this tonight. We've started our racking. First we're going to rack some into this gallon jug because I don't want to fill the jug up, the big 5-gallon up, because it needs some headroom for the bubbles to expand. Then after we have so much in there, we'll move it over. We've moved from the gallon jug over to the 5-gallon carboy. So we're going to drain the rest of it into it. So this is going to take a little while. We have the hose sitting at the top of the carboy. We want the stream of wine to go through the air to pick up its last gulp of air. From now on, after this, when we rack, it'll be at the bottom, so there won't be any air. We put some in a glass so we can taste it. It's still a little bit sweet, it's still a little bit carbonated and yeasty, but it's actually a good wine. If you can see there in the hose, we can see bubbles coming through. That's the hose picking up some of the yeast burps on the bottom of the jug, some of the bubbles. We have the wine all racked. We put it in 2 5-gallons and 2 gallons. We didn't fill them up because we don't want them to overflow. On our next racking, we'll go ahead and fill the 5 gallons all the way up. So in 3 days, we have Concord Grape wine. That still has to sit for 3 months, and it'll be a finished wine. Aaron, what's this wine?
It's my wedding wine. See you next time. Don't film that.